What keeps this evil goblin barbarian going?
You motherfuckers don't get to talk to me! I'm just really afraid of death. I want to stick both the daggers into his shin and pry his shins off. Oh! I'm just absolutely terrified of the idea of going to the afterlife. You think you've got me trapped? I've got you trapped in here with me! I've killed so many people. I seem like a nice enough person. And suddenly, I get angry. And I just start indiscriminately killing. Such a bad person. This must be hard for you to see. Let me help! And I take my daggers and stab his eyeballs out. This is bringing something out of me that I am not happy with.
Welcome, travelers, to City of Town, an improvised D&D adventure. I'm Casey.
And I'm Michael, and an improvised D&D adventure is an adventure that Casey and I are going to make up on the spot. No prep work, no character sheets, just infinite amounts of dragon slaying and infinite amounts of D&D improv fun.
That's right. Now, if you're new to City of Town, do not worry. You do not have to have seen every other episode that came before this, because every adventure is completely standalone.
You also do not have to have read all the D&D rulebooks, because we loosely base everything off D&D 5e, but we never stress about following the rules. We never go and look anything up in Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes or Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. We make up spells, we make up feats, we butcher the backstories of species and characters. I'm using the new terms now.
Ooh, I love it. Well done. Very impressive.
Because that's what we do here. We know the new terms.
That's right. And we're all about improv and D&D. Now, we use two dice here over here at City of Town. We use the D20 and the D6. We use the D20 for all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. We use the D6 for everything else we come up along the way. You'll know it when you see it. You'll see it when you know it.
You may have noticed that there are two of us here on this podcast, which means that one of us will be the dungeon master, and the other one will be the player. Now, this week, our player will be none other than the absolutely incredible, mind-blowingly intelligent, absolutely charismatic me, Michael. Which leaves the other guy, Casey.
Go ahead.
To be our DM.
Keep going.
No, that's it.
No, I think there's more to it.
About you being a DM?
Yeah.
It's you?
Yeah.
The other guy?
Yeah.
Who's not me?
So you're
because there's two of us.
Yeah, right.
And if it's not me,
I get that.
Then it must be you.
Truly.
Who's not me.
But is me.
Yeah. It's Casey.
I'm worried about Michael here because he is stated is the player. Now, that means that he's entering into a world of my creation. And while I was thinking that I would be a hospitable and nice god today, I'm suddenly feeling wrathful. Angry, vengeful.
The Dungeon Master's Guide says that you're not supposed to go into a game feeling like that. Well, you're not supposed to be trying to beat your players.
Unfortunately, we don't read the rules here at City of Town.
So
we make up spells, we make up feats, and we make up the way that we want to DM, which today is going to be painful. It's going to be aggressive. It's going to be actively hunting our player, because this adventure begins, as all great adventures do, with you, Michael, and your character's name is Michael, set within this forest, being hunted by hundreds of the world's greatest hunters. Not even the world, all of the planes. Hundreds of these people have been brought here because they see you as the greatest threat to all of the planes. And you are now in the dead center of their scopes.
And I am, of course, a small little goblin who is buff as hell and just completely dressed like Rambo with the with the red bandana and the t-shirt, the white t-shirt that has ripped off sleeves.
Yes. You absolutely.
And also, it is pronounced, it's Michael, but it's spelled M-I-K-E-L.
M-I-K-E-L, yeah. Before you became really the destroyer of all planes, somebody who is so terrifying and grotesquely evil to all those surrounding you, you were known as Mikkel. But,
yes.
But people
That's the goblin pronunciation.
Yes, but as you became known by more and more species spanning all over what I keep referring to as all of the different planes, you slowly started to be known as Mikkel.
Yep.
Insidious, devilish, evil Mikkel. Now, of course, you are at the center of this story, and so I'm sure that you're not just the plain black and white evil that everyone, including your DM, views you to be. What is it about you that's, redeemable or redeemable? Or not a total piece of shit? What is it, Michael?
So I'm just bad?
No, that's what I'm trying to get from you. I'm giving you the opportunity to stand up for yourself.
You're giving me the opportunity to make myself redeemable. That doesn't mean that I'm not already bad.
Well,
it's been established that I'm evil.
Well, I think now here is where, you can get into the philosophy of whether we should even have good to evil.
No, we do. I'm evil.
Okay, so you're just taking it on. Yeah. You're evil.
I am an evil ass barbarian goblin.
Why are people so afraid of you on a massive universal scale?
Because I have just massacred so many people. I go into towns. I seem like a nice enough person.
Sure.
And then one little thing happens. Mm-hmm. And suddenly, I get angry. Mm-hmm. And then all hell just breaks loose. And I just go into that rage, and I just start indiscriminately killing. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're the one who wronged me. It doesn't matter if we were friends 5 minutes ago. I just start ending lives.
So I get it. So you're the ultimate murder hobo.
Yeah.
Sexually.
I thought you said sexually.
Sexually.
I thought you're the
absolutely not. No, absolutely not. We're not here to do that in City of Town. No.
Yes, I am a murder hobo. But after I come out of the rage,
yes,
I'm just a normal barbarian. Mm-hmm. And I'm no longer like, I want to kill everybody. I come out of the rage and I'm like, fuck, it happened again. And then I move on.
Sort of a Jekyll and Hyde situation going on.
Yes.
Was there ever a good side of you, or has this duality always existed and the apathetic side's always been like this apathetic?
The apathetic side has always been
this apathetic.
What do you mean by that?
I just mean because you just said it just happened again, and then you just kind of move on to the next town.
No,
is there like a conflict, or is it that your guy kind of just sees it as this is what it is and continues on?
In the beginning, there was conflict about this, and I felt really bad. Like it was like a thing that tortured me. Yep. But it's been like 30 years.
Okay.
And like at this point, it's like, damn it, I wish this would stop. But like, what can you do?
What keeps you going? Besides, what can you do? Why does this guy...
What keeps me going?
Yeah, what keeps this evil goblin barbarian going?
I'm just really afraid of death. I'm just absolutely terrified of the idea of going to the afterlife because, I've killed so many people. I'm such a bad person. I don't want to go down to
Do you think
hell.
you're going to end up in, the Blood Wars or something?
I definitely am.
Okay.
And I'm going to absolutely crush. But it doesn't change the fact that I don't want to go there. Mm-hmm. And since I discovered this thing about me that I kill people when I go into a rage, it's been too late for me. I haven't been redeemable since I discovered it. Okay. What am I going to do? Just if I killed myself right after the first time it happened.
Sure, but it's way too late now.
It's way too late.
Yeah.
I'm going to the Blood War and I don't want to.
That's a tough beat.
Yeah.
And as you're
now I'm just Rambo Goblin Michael.
Absolutely. And as you're thinking about this, you go ahead and roll a perception check.
That's a 17 plus 6, 23.
So right before, we started this adventure, you were running through these woods. You know that some of the greatest hunters, as I've said, hundreds of them, are filtering through these woods. They've trapped you within, but they don't know exactly where you are. As you suddenly stop, ducking behind a tree, as several of what you get a small glimpse at them, and they are the Akiba tribe. They are a band of warriors that exclusively use monk martial arts. And so they never speak, any of them. They are a silent group of killers. And you barely got a beat on them as one of them was just walking through the brush and stepped on something, catching your awares. Now, are you wanting to attack them, or are you going to let them keep passing?
I'm wanting to let them keep passing. However, I do think back on accident to the last time that I met some Akiba, and they wouldn't talk to me, which I took as them giving me the silent treatment and made me mad.
Yes.
And it accidentally makes me mad now, and so I go into a rage. As I think about the slight way in which they offended me back in the day.
All right.
Like a year ago.
So we are going to move into combat.
Yes.
They have not noticed you, so it is going to be your attack first, and then we'll roll for initiative.
Cool. All right. So I go into a rage. You motherfuckers think you're too good to talk to me? And I sprint out of the trees with 2 daggers in my hands, ready to absolutely lay waste.
And I've just realized this is going to be a nightmare of editing, as that whatever you just said was indefinable. I assume
you subtitles.
Yeah, we're going to have to do subtitles for this guy. I assume you just said, you motherfuckers think you cannot talk to me?
Think you're too good to talk to me.
I love it. Go ahead. You get the drop on him, so go ahead and attack.
That was a 3, but do I get advantage?
You do get advantage, yeah.
I rolled a 3 and a 4.
As you sprint in, what were you going to do to attack?
Oh, but I get multiple attacks, though.
Yeah. So on the first one, you miss.
Yes.
As you grab at one of them, and one of the monks just shoves that person right out of the way, noticing your approach, mainly because you screamed and yelled at them. But they still are on the defensive, and you do have another attack within your round.
Give me those shins, motherfucker! So I'm gonna go ahead and try to stab the other one that just pushed him away into the shins. Ooh, that was a 19 plus 8, 27.
27, and I'm sorry, you're attacking his shins?
His shins.
Okay.
I'm gonna rip his shins off using my daggers. I want to stick both the daggers into his shin and pry his shins off.
Oh! Okay.
This guy gets mad.
Yeah, this is okay. We're evil. I'm coming accustomed to it.
Yeah.
All right. So you stab into his shins. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is a 2 plus 3, 5.
With a 5 damage, one of the shins is able to hold together. You still have it stabbed into it as you rip at the other one, and his bone bursts out of the skin, tendons and all, as he gives out a scream, which is not something that's normally easily dragged out of a monk of his stature, as he falls with one knee to the ground. It is now going to be the monk's turns. Actually, let's roll initiative first to see whether it is their turn or not.
That is a 9 plus 4.
Okay, with their 23, they are going to have the first attack within our rounds. So as the monks are going to try to surround you, and they're each going to use they grow out their fingernails, and they always sharpen them, so they have essentially claws.
I thought this was it was like Wolverine, where for their attack, their fingernails just suddenly grow.
No. They're just basically they grow them out, and then they use a type of bleach to harden them. Ooh. As they are each going to, as 4 of them are going to attempt to stab into your shoulders in order to grapple you. And so they are going to get an advantage with their grapple. And so go ahead and roll for your grapple check to resist it.
That is a 12 plus 5, 17.
Okay, with a 23, these 4 monks, you're massive compared to them. Even as a goblin, you're still like just jacked.
I'm dense
you're,
as hell.
Yeah, you're dense. You're horizontal, not vertical in your bigness, but you are big as you are trying to move, but they are able to hold you down as the 5th of these monks, the one who is kneeled down, is going to... he's going to use a bit of ki as he slams on his own bones, snapping it back into place and using ki to essentially solder it back together, as that will end their turns.
Okay, so I'm grappled. So I'm going to use one of my abilities called the Rage Tornado.
It's beautiful. I love it. Okay. I'm so terrified.
It's basically... it works the same kind of way as Fireball.
Okay.
Where I go into just an absolute... I basically create a vortex of rage around me as I'm moving so fast that everybody around me has to actually do a dexterity saving throw or take full damage. They take half damage on a...
Okay.
And it's for 3d6. As I am just running in circles, just absolutely moving faster than you can possibly comprehend. Daggers slashing for everything in a 15-foot radius around me. 30-foot diameter.
Okay, so I will go ahead and roll their dex for them.
And I'll roll 3d6s to determine how much damage they take.
Great.
So 4, 1, 6. So that's 11 plus 3, 14 total damage.
Wow. Oh my gosh, they are all doing terribly. And he's... Oh no, so the only one that succeeds is the one that just used ki to fix his leg. As the 4, he is able, because he's not grappling you, to jump out of the way. But the 4 who have their claws dug into you are not able to remove them fast enough as you start to create this vortex of absolute rage and pain. They are just getting slaughtered. You said 14 points of damage?
14
How much?
points of damage.
Okay.
And in this tornado, I'm just screaming, "You dare to put your hands on Mikkel!"
All right, as you're like throwing them up, you're smashing, you're then grabbing another one by the throat and like choking and squeezing on their neck. As after this whole tornado happens,
this other guy's just watching.
Yeah, you come to a stop right in front of that 5th one, staring at him as the other 4, one by one, fall onto the ground. Each of them is down to 3 points of health left, and they are all just bloody pulping messes, as it is going to be their turns. But because they all just got wrecked so badly, most of them are unable to move, as only one of them starts to stand himself up and is going to attempt to use his ki, as he is going to use all of his ki in one moment to essentially explode himself, attempting to do any bit of damage that he possibly can. The other 3, sensing what he is doing, are going to try to pump their own ki into his to make the blast bigger, as they are all going to erupt. As I'm going
in the
to...
last moment, right before he's about to explode and I realize what's happening, I want to look into his eye and go, "Coward."
He does not react as he's exploding, but he is angry about it. Noted. Go ahead and roll a dex save.
Two.
All right, so
it's a 2 plus 6, but...
Okay, so you are going to take full damage, as we are going to do 3d6 of damage.
Cool.
So that is 10 points of damage.
Cool.
As he erupts. And that actually, because it's 10 wow. Because it's 10 points of damage, the 5th one who is still standing, you see as you're shirking off the pain, able to keep your eyes open as this flame engulfs you, you see that the 5th one is standing there. He's standing there. And then His skin starts to peel away as he turns to ash, his bones collapsing to the ground. The fifth one is destroyed by this terrible fire within this forest. You are the only one left standing.
Dang. Oh, wait, I take half damage because I'm in a rage, don't I?
You do.
Forgot about that. Okay. So this explosion goes up, and afterwards, I'm like, it's kind of like a Dragon Ball Z moment where like the explosion goes off and the dust clears, and I'm like kneeling on the ground, like it affected me, but then I just stand up and look around, and I'm just like, these guys suck. I hate Akiba.
Well done, Mikkel. I was hoping I would find you in time.
No one's called me Mikkel in a real long time.
I'm sure they haven't. But today, the past comes for you, Mikkel. Find me where the trees don't grow. As the voice disappears from your mind, you realize that someone has messaged you, and you recognize their voice as your brother, Robear.
Robear loves his riddles.
He does.
His riddles always make me so mad. I can never figure them out.
As you go back into a rage,
I sprint off into the trees looking for more people to kill. Just fucking.
As we are going to cut away to this.
I find a squirrel. The squirrel just goes flying out of the fucking.
Well, we cut away to this nice small bit of forest where there's actually a family, a very happy family, no children, 18-year-olds, so they're not considered children anymore. As they're all having a great time. They didn't run into anybody because they've been camping out here for a long time, so they weren't notified that there was true terror out here. As the dad's cooking on a nice nice fire, just has like a little pot, as a squirrel suddenly wrenches through his skull. And he falls to the ground dead. His family panics as you appear behind them. You rip them to shreds.
I eat their barbecue.
They are absolutely no match for you as you sit there, the sun setting, and you eat this barbecue, coming out of your rage. Now,
and I look at the food in my hands and the dead people around me, the dead family. Mm-hmm. And I go, at least they died happy. And then
jeez. Yeah, you know?
You know, I've killed people when they were sad, and that wasn't fun. So this is an improvement.
Yeah. That is an improvement.
Yeah.
Stark improvement. Yeah. Vast improvement. Now, you're kind of at a turning point here. Are you going to attempt to find your brother, to fight him, or, to whatever?
Yeah, I want to kill him for making me do a riddle when I don't know what the answer to the freaking riddle is. Where the trees don't grow. Where the trees don't grow? Trees grow everywhere. There's trees. There's trees. I look at the top of the mountain and everybody, trees are up there too. I see trees. I look up in the sky and I go, there's no trees there. Did he mean to meet them in the sky? But how do I get there? And I get mad at the idea of having to fly. And I go into a rage.
We're gonna skip over you murdering another group.
Yeah.
This is a group. It's a small band of that classic D&D party. So there's a spellcaster, there's a fighter, there's another barbarian, but they're all level 4, well not equipped to do this fight. This is part of the tactics of one of the people who's hunting you, is that he just enlisted all types of people who want to be great travelers into this to maybe slow you down. And do pick you off with a small bit of damage each time. They did not damage you though. They did very poorly.
Because they're standard.
They do. They have 2 potions of minor healing.
I take the potions and I eat them with the glass and everything.
You're quiet. You know what? Go ahead and roll a fate die. We'll see how accustomed your body is.
13.
All right, your body's actually pretty accustomed to you eating glass.
Absolutely it is. It's 100% accustomed to eating glass.
Most of the scarring is like created. It's like you have leather inside of you. As you get 4 points of healing.
Oh, hooray!
Absurd.
And I scamper away again. Where the f*** is the more trees?
So
I climb a tree to go see if I can see an area with no trees.
You climb up to the very top of this tree. You look out at the sky. You see nothing that tells you where he might be, but you hear a whistle in the distance. Are you going to go towards it? What are you going to do?
Michael, the player, wants to go towards it.
Yeah, but we're not talking about Michael, the player.
No, we're talking about Michael, the rage hobo goblin.
Yeah.
The rage murder hobo goblin.
Yeah, what's he doing?
I think he interprets this whistle as a cat call, and he gets offended. And he goes into a rage. And he just jumps from tree to tree towards the whistle.
Okay. You... in this rage, keep following this whistle that keeps seeming to be emanating from further and further into the woods. You, at each moment where you feel like you're about to get a hold of this thing, you lose track of it again.
I just get more and more mad. Every time I lose track of it, my rage ticks up. I'm getting closer to the top level of my rage, which is an uber rage, which is a whole other thing.
Jeez.
Because I do have an uber rage, and it goes beyond this rage.
Wow. Okay. I'm excited. I hope I can push your buttons enough to get there.
We'll see.
I
don't know. I'm pretty good at controlling my anger.
As the darkness takes hold of the night, and you hear this whistling coming from deep within a cave that you appear in front of. I would assume you're going to keep going into the cave.
And I look up at the moon, which me and the moon have been feuding for a long time.
Yes.
I haven't been able to kill the moon yet, though. And I go,
I'd rather be in the cave than with you.
and I run into the cave.
You sprint.
And I'm kind of like going like full like spider mode as I go into the cave, as I'm like scampering along the walls.
You are. In the cave, it has many narrow passages, as some of them you have to even like shove the rock away, pushing and clawing your way further in.
And I'm like cutting myself as I go through, because I don't like push them all the way away. I just push them the bare minimum distance away for me to squeeze through them.
As you come, so you're a goblin, don't have dark vision, so it's pretty freaking dark in
I have
here.
rage vision.
Rage vision? What does that look like? What does that mean?
Everything's red.
Everything?
Everything is red.
Okay.
And basically I can see heat.
Okay.
So I can see, I can see heat. That's all.
Great. So you're climbing through, and you enter it, you are surrounded by darkness, as suddenly heat sources start to light up all around you. Hundreds of these creatures. They have spindly long arms, humanoid-looking heads, but the rest of their body are bulbous like spiders, as they have a long neck where their head looms out of. And then you see one massive of these creatures. It is hugely big. It has 8 arms, and atop it is a rider. And the rider says, "I've been hunting you for a long time. Oh, my creatures are excited to eat. I've been starving them, promising them a bit of goblin blood."
I'll be sorry to disappoint him. You think you've got me trapped? I've got you trapped in here with me!
Guys, you... This man is terrified.
Yes.
All right, we are going to go ahead and roll for initiative. You are going to be fighting all of these creatures as... Go ahead. What did you get?
Ooh, that's a 16, and that is +6.
You're going to have the ability to attack first. So what are you going to do?
Oh, I go straight for the rider. I just leap into the air towards the rider, using every bit of strength that I have, throwing my daggers ahead of me towards him, and just coming at him with my claws.
And you do this as it appears that he was actually ready for this. You throw your knives and they bounce off of some type of force field. As you slam onto the force field, you are able to slow your fall as you reach the ground again. The rest of these creatures are all going to try to pounce on you as literally hundreds of them dogpile on you as you are submerged by them. All of these teeth biting at you, their pincers stabbing at you. I'm going to need you to make a dexterity save.
That is a 10 + 6, 16.
16. I did realize I did not set a
DC?
Yes. All right. As you were able to, you're again surrounded, but you're able to dodge out of the way of these creatures as they're all surrounding you, trying to bite at you. It is now back to your turn.
So am I grappled by them at all, or am I able to get out of here just getting attacks of opportunity?
So when I say that they are all on you, you are literally at the bottom of a pool of these creatures. So as far as getting out of there, if you have a special feat where you can blast away from them, but you otherwise are going to have to fight your way out of this.
I'm pissed off already.
Yes.
I came in here.
Yeah.
Already in a rage.
Started mad.
Then I try to attack this motherfucker up on top of the spider. Mm-hmm. And there's spiders, right? Is that how you described them?
Yeah. There's spiders with humanoid heads.
Okay. So I try to attack this rider, and he's got a stupid shield that messed up my attack. That puts me up another rage.
Sure.
Then I fall on the ground. Another rage. Then I get wrestled by all these spiders.
Yes.
Another rage. It's too fucking hot in here. It's another rage.
It's toasty, man. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's swampy. It's swampy toasty.
And someone just bit my ass.
Yeah.
I think I'm in an Uber rage.
Wow. Okay.
Which just is basically 2 rages.
Okay.
So I'm just going to rage tornado.
Great. You rage tornado
And now I get to roll 66s instead of 3d6s.
This guy's crazy. I'm going to roll on behalf of all of them. They are all surrounding you, and so they're going to take disadvantage because they're literally piled onto you.
Cool.
All right.
7, 13, 16, 18, 24 plus 6, 30. 30 points of damage.
As Corellin, who is this the man standing on top of the large one of these spider-like creatures, is watching. He has dark vision as he is able to see all of his creatures hoarded on top of you. He smirks, thinking he's finally got the best of you, as suddenly the mound of these creatures starts to bulge as blood, as they're bright acidic green blood starts to spew out as it's literally like a blender is happening as it's spewing out as his creatures, as he looks at you and says, no, 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 my poor creatures. Stop it! He's screaming out for you to end this mutilation as you do not. You, in a perfect rage, an uber rage, will not cease as all of his creatures, their legs being spewed and splayed away, fall to the ground in a slush dead. You emerging from it, covered in this acidic green, staring up at him.
You know what your mistake was?
What?
Everything!
And I'm gonna run forward underneath his spider mount and use my knife, use my dagger to try and cut open the stomach of this spider and crawl inside.
All right. Well, go ahead for your attack.
Oh. Oh, that was a 19 plus 8, 27.
Yeah, with a 27, you stab up, getting a hold of this thing and cut deep as you were able to crawl your way inside. What are you doing? Get out of there! No, Persephone!
Yeah, Persephone's in trouble.
Yeah, not good.
And I go inside, and then I'm going to use one of my feats, which is gore consumption. Basically, instead of taking a long rest, I can just eat one of my enemies. And it gives me a long rest.
Yeah, okay.
So while I'm inside of Persephone, I just start chowing down.
You swallowing blood, tearing at the different organs and within Persephone. You actually you break one of her egg sacs as those like underage spiders try to fight you, but you
Caviar! No.
you easily eat them. Just it is absolute.
Thanks, Persephone!
It's vile.
I just spewed spit.
You eat this thing from the inside as it crashes onto the ground. You breaking out of Persephone at the top, coming up.
Kick out her eye, like.
Yeah, you kick out her eye and you come out as you see Corellin kneeling before Persephone. No, my love. What have I done?
This must be hard for you to see. Let me help!
And I take my daggers and stab his eyeballs out.
Corellin, destroyed by his sadness, is unable to stop you as this long great warrior comes to a bitter and brutal end, the knives stabbing into his pupils and deep into his brain. He, kneeled, perishes.
And I am eating the eyeballs off of my daggers as I suddenly look around and realize,
Wait a second. There are no trees in here. Trees don't grow in caves. I solved the riddle.
and I go out of my rage. And then I look around and I'm like, oh, this is gross.
I hope Robear didn't see this.
As you hear in your head, "Oh, I've seen everything." Fuck. You're right. You're very right. Trees don't grow in caves. I had to lure that stupid Corellin out of his hiding just to lure you here. Well, come a little deeper, little brother. I can't wait for you to see how beautiful I've become.
You're gonna wish I hadn't come deeper once I come deeper. I solved your riddle.
Yeah, you don't actually hear anything else. You hear nothing.
You think you're too fucking good for me? You're just jealous and I solved your riddle.
I go deeper. I sprint deeper into this cave.
This man is like 50% the Tasmanian devil.
I don't know what the this
And
dude is.
50% the nightmares of DMs.
This is bringing something out of me that I am not happy with.
Okay. You go deeper into this cave. You go deeper into this cave as you're winding your way through, and the whole time you are able to see a sense of heat looming before you. And as you grow closer and closer, this thing gets bigger and bigger. Were you gonna do anything?
I was just going to say, I do eventually lose the rage as I'm going deeper and deeper, because I think it takes a while.
Yeah.
So the rage that I was just in from that conversation does dissipate.
Okay. You losing your rage, and a light starts to appear before you. This light, it's strange though. It's a pure green energy that's blinding to you. It's as though all you can see are saturations of green as you come into this beautiful place that is filled with all types of emerald green stalagmite columns. And at the center of it is this ornate throne upon which you see someone whose his face is Robear, no doubt, but his body feels and looks corrupted. His arms are overlong. He has multiple of them that have been stitched and knotted onto him and grafted. He has other heads bulbously coming out of his back. He has where his chest should be is ripped open. The ribs are ripped open, and there's just a gaping hole of blackness. As he's large, buff, muscular, and just so grotesque. As he looks at you and he says, "You see, I figured out your weakness. You must use your eyes. But me, I see it all." As he grabs at his own eyes, digs his fingers into it, he says, they all said that they would hunt you. I was the one who created your name, Mikkel. Mikkel. I spread it far and wide, my riddles all inside. I created you, Mikkel. Mikkel. He rips out his eyes and squeezes them into a pulp that falls into this bowl. And now the story must end. I will be your destruction. He cuts one of the skulls upon his back and it pops like a blister, the ooze running into the bowl. He drinks it deep as his body, more arms start to grow out of him. He gets larger and larger, taking on this giant form. He is now 30 feet tall. He is nearly bursting out of this cave as he grabs a stalactite column, breaks it off. He now has his staff as he looks down on you. "Little brother, I've been waiting for so long to be reunited, so that I may show I am the truest of the scary demons."
Robear, what the fuck happened to you? You were an accountant.
He was. Yes, I was. You see, I was an accountant for all the baddies. I even worked for a few devils in time, but all of them wanted the glory. So I started scheming. I started finding my way for Robear to be the greatest of the baddies. But then Michael, Michael, I kept hearing you killing townsfolk, and so I decided I knew how I could become the best. I would build you up so that I could tear you down. There are hundreds of the world's greatest hunters and fighters in these woods, and none of them could find and kill you, but I can, and I will. So, get in a rage, or don't. Either way, I'm about to you up. As he is going to swing his staff at you.
Wait, can I say something to him real quick?
No, you can't. He is swinging his staff. I will let you speak after this attack.
Robear.
He is this.
What a tragic character.
Yeah, he is literally this giant to call him, and then he's thrusting at you. I'm going to need you to make a dex save to get out of the way of this.
3. 3 plus 6, so 9.
Yeah, with a 9, you you are so caught off guard. Wow, Robear looks as this column slaps you. I mean, it is basically the size of you as it launches you into a wall, doing 2d6 worth of damage. As you take 5 points of damage, not in a rage, so that is full damage.
Yeah.
As he like lumbers towards you, looking crooked and gross.
So I fly into this wall and like land on the ground, hurt, and I look at him and I go,
Robear, I never told you why it was that I left.
Okay, now I'm gonna need you. I'm curious whether you could actually sustain not going into a rage.
let's give me a rage coming.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind then. All right, please continue.
Robear, I never told you why I left. When we were kids, the first time I went into a rage and I killed a bunch of people, you were there. You don't remember it because you were so small. But it was you who made me mad. And when I killed all those people, and I looked down upon you, helpless little Robear, I almost killed you. And then I stopped myself. It was the only time I ever controlled my rage. And let me tell you this, Robear. I'll never control my rage again. You're f***ed.
And I go into a rage.
You burst into your rage, ready to fight. It is gonna be. It is gonna be your turn.
How big is he? He's
30 feet. He's massive.
I want to launch myself at his face using rage jump, which allows me to jump 30 feet.
Yes.
All my things are just rage something.
Yeah.
That's just the theme of this dude.
Fair enough.
I want to jump at his face. I want to grab his goblin fang, one of his goblin fangs, and try to rip it out of his mouth and then stab him with it.
Okay. So you jump up. I'm going to need you to make an acrobatics check then because you're going for something so specific, I'm going to have you do 3 rolls for it. So the first one is to see whether you're obviously able to jump the distance to his face, but able to grab on once you've done that. Oh.
Rolled a 2.
I'm so sorry. It was a cool idea.
Yeah.
I just, I had to make it a little complicated.
Yeah, so I don't hold on right, but can I just attack him now?
So you jump up and you crash into his face, but fall away, unable to grab a hold of him. I will let you roll another attack as you're falling down to see whether you can stab him in the back or something.
I'm gonna reckless attack.
Okay.
So for my next 2 attacks, I'm gonna do them both reckless.
Okay.
That's an 18 plus 8, so 26.
Hits.
And that was the second one for that one, just to see if I net 20'd.
Okay.
So that's 26. So.
What was the second one?
The second was a 14.
Okay, doesn't hit, obviously, yeah.
So the first one hits that 26.
Yep.
All right. Roll that d6. 6! And I'm trying to just stab into him as I'm falling down and trying to like get my dagger in there and just create like a giant slit in him.
You stab into him as you're falling down, and tendons are being ripped. But because he's grafted together by all of these other types of creatures and stuff, literally limbs fall off of him and crash to the ground as he lets out. Ah! It is now his turn, though, as he. I remember that day. You thought I was so small that I would forget. And for a time, it's true, I did. But as I killed, my memories started to come back to me. And I realized what I should have done. When all of them looked at me as though I was small and weak and pathetic, I knew that I needed to kill them, make them a part of me. And so I will. And so I am. Die, brother. Die.
I like how the way this story should go is that these two should realize they both want the same thing and team up.
Yeah.
It's not gonna
happen.
They're gonna kill each other. Only one of them is walking out of here.
I think it's so important to remember that they're both like in rages.
Just absolutely blind rage.
Yeah. As in fact, good word, blind, as he
Damn it, I'm mad because I was about to use that.
He is going to because remember, he tore out his eyes. He is going to
squished him.
He is going to stamp his emerald staff on the ground as it is going to light up all of the other emerald within this room, glowing a bright green as suddenly your brother disappears from your sight. You are unable to see him both visually, and there is no red heat sense, as all it is green light surrounding you.
Okay, so I can still see the rest of the cave. He's just gone.
No, essentially everything is just a blinding green.
Oh, okay. So I see nothing. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just blind, but instead of black, I'm seeing green.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. As he says, "Oh, brother, I am high, I am low, I am here, I am there, I am everywhere. I am your downfall." It is now your turn.
You think you're smarter than me? I can do more freaking riddles! No! You can't! Ah!
And I go into the Uber rage. And then I do Rage Nova. Which is just where I just basically explode with rage. My rage becomes a white hot heat that just, my entire skin starts to glow pure white and then just explodes out of me in a 30-foot radius.
Yes.
And it actually hurts me too. It actually takes me down by 10 points of health.
Okay. All right. As you are drained by 10 points of health, now go ahead and roll.
66.
Yeah, 66. And then I will roll to see whether he's able to evade.
13, 17, 23, 28 plus 6. So that is 34.
34 points of damage as you let out this giant explosion as you hear just this giant, what is obviously Robear, fly across the room and crash into the ground. His stalagmite column, you hear a shattering sound as suddenly all of the room comes back into view. His staff shattered and broke apart, destroying the magic that was blinding you. He lays on the ground, bleeding profusely and just burnt to the crisp as no, I am your downfall. I have sat in your shadow for too long. No.
Robear, this is my curse! Don't try to copy my curse! It's mine! You're dying now!
As it is still going to be his turn as he
No, I use my ability, rage turn skip. No,
I know. But as he tears away two of his ribs, he breaks them off as he is going to hurl them at you as projectiles. The first one, wow, the first one is only an 11, so it does not hit you. The second one is a 24.
That hits.
That hits one of his ribs. The first one slams. You're able to evade it as it slams into the back wall, sticking deep into it. But the second one catches you in the shoulder, rocketing you backwards. It actually locks you to the wall as he does 2d6 of damage. That's 9 points of damage, halved, so 5 points of damage.
I'm down to half health.
As you were stabbed into the wall, it is now your turn.
You motherfucker! And I open up my mouth and I use my ability, dental rage. All my teeth eject out of my mouth across the room directly to him at just super high velocity.
It actually,
And my teeth are sharp.
it breaks the sound barrier.
Yep.
As these things launch at him. As it is that I think is a dex save, taking half damage because it's, so many of them projectiling.
It's really scattershot.
Yeah. It's kind of like a shotgun.
Also, my gums bleed profusely during and after.
I love these two fighting martial classes doing projectiles at each other. Oh wow. Okay. Actually, so he got a 23. So with a 23, he's able to only take half damage.
I should roll for that.
Yep. Go ahead and roll.
3d6s. 6, 4, 5. So that's 13. 13.
With so 7 points of damage, you shoot him as these teeth lodge into him as he shuffles out of the way. He comes and stands before you.
He doesn't have teeth. It's hard to tell.
You think you can defeat me? You think you can kill me?
I don't think I do.
You say
It's
that
gonna be gibberish from now on. Sorry.
as he pulls off, as he grabs one of the heads next to him, he pulls it, breaking the spine out of his body, into a whip as he pulls it back and is about to slash at you as he suddenly stops right here, his arm up. I can't believe this is how it ends. As he falls backwards, dead. Your brother has fallen.
I rip the rib out of my shoulder that's holding me to the wall, throw the rib to the side, sprint over to my brother, get my teeth back, shove them in my mouth, and then eat him.
You devour him as you just pull pieces of this graphited piece together, broken man, as you consume large pieces of him. You fill your stomach, taking in that long rest as you scream out within this cave. This horrifying scream emanates. It is bolstered by the echoes of this cave launching out into the forest as all of the fighters and the killers who are surrounded within these woods hear it. They look at each other. Who's going to be the first one to go?
You're all dead, motherfuckers!
As they start to step forward. And that is where we will end today's session.
One word review. Unhinged. truly unhinged.
Mikkel is without a doubt.
Say Mikkel.
Without a doubt, the craziest, I think that might be the craziest character I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like ever.
I apologize for that. Deeply.
Michael, thank you so much for a beautiful, insane, absolutely bonkers episode and adventure. That was lovely.
Thank you as well for being such a good DM. And thank you to all of you for tuning in and listening or watching. If you're listening, go ahead and give us a review on Spotify or whatever podcast platform you're on. And if you're watching, go ahead and Go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment down below about what you would do if you were a rage-filled murder goblin hobo.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you up to? How are you destroying an entire town? You know, leave it all down below.
Also, which brother was better?
Yeah.
Mikkel or Robear?
Yeah, exactly. That's what everybody wants to know.
We all know the answer.
Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next adventure.
See you then.